Hi guys. I hope everyone's doing great. I hope everyone's enjoying themselves this new year. It is officially halfway through the first month of 2020, and by far I can say this year has been, so far in the 16 days, a year of revelation. Where last year was a year of closure and finishing off whatever we started throughout the decade, this year has proven to be a year of revelation. This video is going to be a specific video that's personal and heartfelt in more ways than I can explain. This is something that actually came into my mind a couple of mornings ago. I'd had a rough night and some horrible dreams regarding my childhood. And so I was up early and I could just feel myself giving messages that I felt were necessary to share, to say the least. And the subject matter will be regarding the 7 chakras, but it will be specific towards the black man and the black woman. I'm going to see if I can do 2 separate videos and try to not repeat myself, but if I do, forgive me. But I found myself thinking, what is the difference in life experiences between black men and women versus the other races of the world? And if you are not familiar with my videos, there was one video where I opened up personally regarding my life, and I'd stated that as a child coming from a predominantly African descendant third world country, we didn't particularly focus on skin color or texture of hair or any of those primitive societal issues that are focused on in America. It wasn't until I came into this country at a very young age, about a couple of years or 3 years into being in this country, I think I was about 9 or 10, that I swear I still remember it. I was in my room and I remembered something that a teacher had said to a friend of mine, and I looked in the mirror and it just dawned on me like, oh crap, I'm black. like skin color, hair texture, all that stuff was just not something that you talk about, because it was just like everyone kind of looked the same, so it wasn't an issue, to say the least. And I've been in this country now, 2020 will make it 31 years, and I can honestly say the one thing that has plagued the enjoyment of being in America is having to be in America while being a dark-hued woman. And it's not our fault that this is such a hard experience to have. It's just that society in this country is so biased towards one look versus another look, and not to disregard the efforts and work that's been going on in the past few years to embody the black woman, the dark-hued woman. There's so many celebrities, so many everyday women, so many business owners that have been including the dark-hued, kinky-haired woman more into mainstream media, into commercial beauty. It's been an effort, but what's been an effort for the past 2 to 3 years does not overshadow what's been going on for hundreds of years. And so I found myself, because I'm going through my inventory, I found myself being split, where the me that is I'm looking at this figment that was created by my experience in this country, and it's as if like we're I think you call it fraternal twins, where you don't look alike but you were born, on the same day. It's like that that image of who society might perceive me to be is like my fraternal twin, where we don't look alike, we don't talk alike, there's nothing about us that's alike. It's just that you're an image, you're a mirror physical image of me, with all the biases and disgust and all the negativity that society attaches to what I physically look like. And I was torn. I was just contemplating for that moment, like, okay, how do I fix this? Because I should not feel like this internally. I should be able to understand, yes, there's biases in society, there's differences in the world, but it shouldn't affect my internal view of myself. It shouldn't affect how I perceive myself, and it shouldn't penetrate so deeply into my heart that I literally see two of me. I see myself, the person that I am, and I also see this shadow clone that society has created based on how I look. And it brought me to the 7 chakras. Now, if you're familiar with the 7 chakras, keep listening. We get real deep into this. If you're not familiar with the 7 chakras, please pause this video and go and listen to, I believe it's 2 or 3 videos that I made on the 7 chakras, which pretty much start with introducing what the chakras are, getting more in depth with them, and then speaking more on the issues related to each chakra and also how to resolve those issues. I'm going to briefly glance over the 7 chakras, and then we're going to break them down chakra by chakra, so that as a black woman or a black man, we can better understand the world around us from the inside out and versus the inside in, the outside in. Because a lot of the times when we let the outside world dictate who we are inside, we contradict ourselves and we end up battling ourselves and creating these emotional distress that's unnecessary and unrequired to live our day-to-day life. Because I truly believe as spiritual beings, when we came into this world, we knew who we were, we know who we are, and we know what our mission is. And it's not until you're taking in everything that society is feeding you that you find yourself not being able to project out into the world what you are within yourself, which is a very harsh and hard experience to have in this world. Like, if anyone ever wondered what is it like to be a black person, the honest to God answer I can give is the inability to be myself, the inability to project out who I truly am, the inability to walk around and just be myself, because I have all this weight and judgment and bias and prejudice that's already out there in the atmosphere towards me, that when I try to be myself, people automatically think I'm trying to be like another group of beings, or I'm trying to be something that's outside of myself, when truly I'm just being myself. So that's the only way I can explain it. It's the honest to the heart, the inability to just be me. The fact that I'm always walking on eggshells, or even, to be brutally honest, walking on broken glass. And the broken glass is the judgments, the prejudice, the bias, the negativity that's thrown at people that are of darker skin, that most of them, like, I'm not going to lump everyone into this bag of innocence, but most people that have to deal with these negative ideologies, we never live up to them. We're usually opposite of what the negativity was. So that's what I can say I've perceived in my life of what it's like to be a black person, especially in this country of America. Because I'll give you an example. I'm someone who listens to my music superbly loud in my car. Like, I'm a musician. I love music. That's my language. I speak it. I hear it. I understand it. So when I'm in my car by myself, I blast my music. And When I say I listen to music, I mean I listen to music. I listen to every genre of music. And there was this one time, I was at the red light and one of my favorite country songs came on. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go. It's about to be a party in this car. So I blast my music. And this guy pulls up next to me in this truck. And he hadn't pulled away so I can see the back of his truck. And he nods and thumbs up. And I wave at him. And when he pulled off, I saw in the back of his truck was the Confederate flag. And I laughed to myself because I was like, that is rare. Because I live in South Florida, of course, and you see the cars with, everyone expresses their beliefs their way, no judgments. But it was rare for me to see someone with those extreme beliefs take notice of my integrating their culture into my life. And I just smiled and waved, and I was just like, wow, that was such a positive experience that it changed me even more in understanding and relating to human beings beyond the basic primitive ideologies that we use. Like, that was an experience for me that opened my mind more to say, you know what? Someone might believe in something, and yet deep down inside, they can be just like me in more ways than one. They can also have that fraternal twin that they're living up to, where, for example, I'm a white man. I was raised in a racist family, so therefore I have to put on this facade to exist within my family. But deep down inside, this is who I really am. It's the same. We're all human. So I just wanted to share that short experience to kind of get you to understand where this video is going. I've been talking long enough, so we're gonna dive into this. Let's first begin with the state of mind that I was in when I got this message. Like I said, I was waking up from many dreams of my childhood, and that's when it dawned on me that the duality of self, the fraternal twins as I call them. And I could see myself, and I can see this alter self that was created from my existence in this country. And it brought me to the 7 chakras. Now, a brief history of the 7 chakras. The word chakra means energy center. We have over thousands of energy centers around and in our bodies. But in this video, we're going to focus on the main 7. The main 7 range from the first chakra, which is at the base of your spine, all the way up to your 7th chakra, which is at your crown, literally above your head, right? Now, you might be asking, what does the 7 chakras have to do with being a black man or woman in our society? And the answer is everything. It has to do with everything. What I came to realize, and I'll go through each chakra, but what I came to realize is we as English speakers, because I speak more than one language, but as English speakers, we demean words. We really don't take into consideration words. When you say energy center, and when you study biology, physiology, and science, it's explained that everything is made of energy. So when you are speaking of the 7 chakras, you're speaking of your 7 energy centers. You're speaking of the 7 centers where life force comes and leaves. You're speaking of the 7 pretty much dimensions that make up you, or that are affected by your reality to destroy you. That's the relation between your everyday life and your 7 chakras. Your chakras represent when, where, how, why life force enters, how it's correlated with your physiology and biology, and how life force leaves you. And that each chakra corresponds with so many elements of our existence that if you're someone who's dysfunctional emotionally, there's a chakra, if you study it well, that will help you rebalance yourself. before even rebalancing yourself, it will help you understand why you're so dysfunctional in this one area of your life, and then you will be able to rebalance yourself. So a brief synopsis of what I found when I was just thinking to myself. As we said before, there are 7 chakras, right? The first chakra at the base of the spine deals with survival. It's the color red. It deals with the element of earth. Now, what I've realized when talking about the first chakra, when it comes to being a black man or a black woman, is the history of survival in this country has always been threatened for the black man or black woman. When I say the history, I mean the totality of the history of this country. Before I go even deeper, remember I warned you this will be a very serious video. So if some of the subjects is not what you want to listen to when you're on your spiritual journey, just stop it now and we can go through other videos. But this is something I feel like I have to discuss, because spirituality, physicality, emotional, mental, all these beings of ours, they're all connected. And when we're able to connect those dots to draw that person, we can see a whole human. So this is why I gave the forewarning that this is not one of my, happy-go-lucky, fluffy videos. This is a very serious subject matter that I wish to try to discuss and get done before an hour. So I'll stop ranting. Like I was saying, the first chakra deals with your survival, your ability to survive in the world, not just the country, the world. It's your ability to provide for yourself. It's your ability to ground your spiritual energies. It's your ability to connect with the earth and know that you, as in the living being and the physical being and the mental being, take up space. And your space that you're taking up matters. Now, I think we're at 450 or so years that this country has been established. If anyone has ever gotten any level of education in America, you know the beginning relationship between the black woman and the black man and this country we call America has been one that is very negative. The relationship has been biased, it's been one-sided, and it's been a full taking of advantage, to say the least. So with knowing and understanding the history of this country and the black man and woman, you will understand why the first chakra, the chakra of survival, the chakra of providing for self, the chakra of household, the chakra of financial stability, why for many black men and women in this country, it's hard for them to attain balance in this chakra. When you think of this country, and when it speaks of its poverty line, its ghettos, its hoods, its poor people, it's always black people that are portrayed in these negative viewpoints. And you might not be able to follow along for now, but I can guarantee you, if you listen, you will understand why. Starting here at the first chakra, if you can understand how your viewpoint is perceived through your 6th chakra, which is your third eye. So if you can understand what I'm trying to say to you, from the first chakra, there is a disadvantage for the black woman and the black man. So therefore, this view of disadvantage is going all the way up to the 6th chakra. So you can only imagine how life unravels itself for black men and black women at this point, right? So from the beginning, your base chakra is shattered because society is saying you're not good enough. You're not good enough to have that home. You're not good enough to have spiritual peace. You're not good enough to be able to provide for yourself. You're not good enough to have a family. You're not good enough to bring food home for your family. You're just not good enough. And what that does is it feeds up into the 2nd chakra. which is the color orange. The second chakra deals with your creativity, your sensuality, your sexuality. The second chakra also deals with relationships. It deals with your emotions. It deals with your ability to connect with others in a positive manner. Now, remember in the first chakra, we talked about how society is telling you you're not good enough for the basics of life, which is survival, food, shelter, water, family. You're not good enough. So now we're in the second chakra. Now, what I found in this chakra is the fact that when we're dealing with the subject matters of joy, enthusiasm, creativity, reproduction, emotions and feelings, relationships, sexuality, all of those elements are exploited in the world of the black man and black woman. And this is something that has always happened. Like we're talking, what is it, 1600s till now. This is something that has always happened. If you look at any history movies regarding the relationship between America and the black man and black woman, i.e. any slavery movies, any movies of the early 1900s, mid 1900s till today, you still see exploitation in the second chakra. The creativity is exploited. There's no sensuality. There's over exploitation of sexuality. Relationships are shattered. There's no joy. I mean, it's a mess. It's really just a mess. And now you have two of the basic chakras, the lower chakras, that are already in disarray. You have your first chakra that's destroyed. You have your second chakra that's being exploited. And now we get to the third chakra, which is the last of the lower chakras, which is the solar plexus. Now it's the color yellow and it's the element of fire. This is your chakra of your drive and your will, your personal power. This is the chakra that when it's balanced, you can overcome your fears, your anxieties. This is the chakra that helps you grow spiritually, that helps you expand emotionally, right? This chakra is destroyed and crushed. Your free will is no more. Why? Because from the first chakra to the second chakra, and now we're into the third chakra, what do you have to work with? You have absolutely nothing to work with at this point. So now all that brokenness, all that destruction is just going up your dimensions of self until you enter your fourth chakra of your heart. Now your heart chakra is supposed to be the space of unconditional love. We are talking 400 to 500 years of brokenness. When you reach the heart chakra, the heart is broken. There's nothing left. The heart is broken. And therefore, at this chakra, which is located in the center of the heart, it is the color green. It is literally the chakra of the element air. It's the breath of life. With this chakra, we have the ability to express our passions, true love. We express spiritual devotion. We can combat any and every issue that deals with rejection or the inner child. Now this chakra is broken. Your heart is broken. If your heart is broken, then there's nothing else that you can do for yourself. And most people in the black society, black men are taught to not cry, to not express emotions. And there's never been a real connection, a metaphysical connection between why do we teach our black boys and black men to not express emotions. There's so many words that we could use to explain it, but really it's spiritual. You have a group of people, from the time they met another group of people, have been crushed, destroyed, broken. It's a lot of work to get from that space to the next space. But the first step is literally acknowledging, like, first, it's not me. This is not my fault. I did not do this to myself. That's the first step. Then the next step is to gain knowledge and history of what has happened. And we're not looking at this from an emotional point of view. We're looking at this purely from a spiritual and a mental point of view. We are aligning our left and right hemispheres of our brain so that we can process this information, so that we can heal, so that we can not continue the procreation of broken generations, right? That's the fourth chakra. Everything I just stated is, if you're a balanced person, everything I just stated, the fourth chakra handles that for you and you have no issues. Then you get into your fifth chakra, which deals with communication. The fifth chakra is the chakra of honesty. The fifth chakra is the chakra of sound. Now, remember back in the second chakra, I talked about how creativity is exploited along with sexuality amongst the Black community. Now, remember I told you, as I explain this and we keep going higher and higher and higher, you can see where each center of energy, each location of life force affects one another. Where your second chakra of creativity, sexuality, sensuality, and self-expression is exploited, when you get to your fifth chakra of communication and expression and independence, that's misguided. That's misdirected. You can look in the music industry. The music industry is that one industry that exploits the second chakra, mistreats the first chakra, and expels the fifth chakra. What do I mean by that? Exploit the second chakra of your creativity and your sexuality is being exploited. Your first chakra of survival is being overcompensated for, while your fifth chakra of communication and self-expression is being misdirected. And now you've become one of the agents that can now go on and continue destroying your own community, your own generations. This is how deep life really is, and no one really put them together. Like, if you can remember sitting in class learning about trigonometry and saying, what am I going to do with this information when I'm an adult? This is the situation. This is the that moment that I've come to realize. All those trigonometry, calculus, pre-calc classes that taught me nothing of value, they could have been teaching me about spirituality and the seven chakras, and I would have been a more rounded person. This is it. As a teen, has a child, we always question that which was being taught to us, because we always felt deep down inside something's not connecting, something's not right. Well, this is it. This is the video that's to help you reconnect with yourself. We walk around every day as zombies. We walk around every day as the walking dead. We mentally, spiritually, emotionally, consciously disagree with most of the actions that we take, but we take no adverse action towards that which we don't agree with. And this is it. When you can understand, my life force is being attacked. My life force, that which I am, is under attack. You can start protecting yourself. And you can start defending yourself. Not in the sense of defending yourself violently, but defending yourself spiritually. So that when you project out into this three-dimensional world, you're not projecting anything that can bring harm to you or your children or generations after you. That's the fifth chakra, our inability to communicate. In the Black community, there's secrets, there's fighting, there's arguing, there's barely any honesty. And that's because prior to getting to your throat chakra, which is the fifth chakra, every other center of energy has been destroyed. So how can you speak of truth and honesty when you have none, really? And that's why I have to say you have to understand, as someone, it could be a young teen, an elder person coming from the Black community, the first thing to healing is to know, I didn't do this to myself. There was a strategic plan for this. There was a plan for this. It's unsuccessful because there's a young girl right now on YouTube explaining this to me in a very basic way that I can understand. Right? We move to the sixth chakra. We move to the sixth chakra, which is the third eye. Now, this is the chakra of vision. When this chakra is balanced, you are connected with your inner intuition. It's literally like having spidey senses. Sorry, I had to use Spider-Man. Like, it's crazy. If you've ever spoken with, have ever experienced your third eye being balanced, it's literally like, if I can explain it in a way, if you've ever seen, what is that movie called? The movie with the girl who took the pills and then she had the ability to use her brain at 100%. I'm going to try to think of the movie. Hold on. The movie is called Lucy. I had to look it up. The movie is called Lucy. That's what it feels like when your third eye is balanced, when you're in tune with your intuition. You're like Lucy. You're walking around this planet and you're looking at the matrix. You're moving things around. And it's not simply you're moving things around in your mind, but you're moving things around in the physical realm. And the way you're doing that is because by being in tune with your intuition, you're then connecting with every chakra that's below your sixth chakra, which is located right in the center of your brow, your eyebrows. They call that your third eye because it's connected to your pineal gland. When your third eye is balanced, you're going in and you're correcting every other chakra that's below your sixth chakra. And when you're able to do that, you're moving things in the physical realm. You're changing things in the physical realm. Remember earlier in the video, I talked about how the viewpoint, when you're dealing with the hood, the ghetto, the poor people, and they are always connected, the criminals, the gangsters and thugs, and they're always attached or connected to the Black community, that is where you can't move anything. The moment you accept, the number one thing that just came to mind right now was the prison system. When I was a child in the 90s, they had this law that came to pass, 3 strikes and you're out. And I think it was a gun law. If you were found guilty with any I can't remember the details of the law, but I believe it was if you were found guilty 3 times with any gun violence crime, you officially went to prison for life. And that law took over the Black community. So many Black young men and women found themselves in prison. And as a child, remember, I don't know if this is the first video you're listening of mine or if you've listened to other videos of mine. I always talk about how as a child I was very intuitive. I saw the Matrix for what it was and I was like, you're not gonna get me. I'm keeping my head low. I'm cutting corners. I'm getting home. I'm locking myself in my home. You're not getting me. I'm not going to be a part of your statistic. I can't do this for you, right? And when that law came to pass, I remember I shook my head and I was like, they're gonna get them now. Like, they're really about to just destroy those communities now. And like, I'm not speaking as if I'm outside of the Black community. Like I said, I come from a third world country. I'm a very dark-skinned Black woman. English is my second language. I'm a Black person. I'm just a Black person who sees. And I don't put myself in the space to be seen because I don't wish to be in the spotlight of anyone. I don't need anyone's spotlight on me because the one secret I've realized to being alive and being in recognition of my life is the fact that I was going to do a video about this. I think I made the video and I deleted it A lot of us are born in these physical vessels, be it's a Chinese female or male, Spanish male or female, white male or female, black, African, American, Haitian, Jamaican, Caribbean, male or female vessel that you're born into. And we never connect to the I that is you, that is me. We never connect to that to find out, oh yeah, what was my mission again? We get stuck in the limitations and parameters of our physical vessel. And that's where we lose so many innocent spirits, so many innocent people. Because imagine if you were from wherever you come from. We're on 6th chakra right now, so I don't have to be all layman and physical. We're in the third eye. We're in the intuitive plane. So sit with me, listen to me. Imagine when you came to this plane from wherever you came from. You came knowing who you are, and you happen to be born in poverty. You happen to be born in a black male vessel. And as you're going about your life, you're still connected to yourself. Then something happened and a disconnection happens. Do you know how much hard work it will be? You will be like someone who's trying to break into their own house because they lost their key. That's the third eye. When you've been so disconnected from yourself that you're trying to realign yourself, you're like someone who lost the key to their home, all the windows are shut, and you're trying to break into your own home. The way you stop yourself from being disconnected, and this is important for young mothers, young fathers, those who are creating relationships to bore children, the way you stop the disconnect is before you lay to have that first child, connect with yourself. Go through your growing pains. Relive your childhood. If you can connect with that pain or that joy that you experience as a child, if you can reconnect with those lessons that grandma, grandpa, mom, pop, uncle, aunt, cousins taught you growing up, you will be an amazing, phenomenal parent. But if you cannot reconnect with yourself and align yourself properly, you will have created a new generation that this society will eat alive, will destroy like never before. And then we find ourselves in the 7th chakra. When we're in the 7th chakra, we are supposed to be connected to the divine. For you, for me, for someone else, the divine could be the universe that wraps itself around this planet. The divine could be Jesus Christ. The divine could be the Buddha. The divine could be anyone, anything that you connect to that is high, that you perceive is higher than you, that gives you positive light energy. Now, with every other chakra destroyed, what are you connecting to? It's not divination. It is not divination that you're connecting to. You're connecting to all of the brokenness from the first chakra up. Now, how do we fix this? I feel like I've been talking long enough and we need to get to a resolution, right? How do we fix this? Well, let's climb that ladder back down. We were at the top of the broken you, me, us. Now we're going to climb down that one and we're going to repair it one by one. We're back to the first chakra. We know the first chakra is the chakra of survival. We know our survival is threatened. How do we fix that? The first step, I already stated a number of times, is the understanding that you are not doing this to yourself and this is not your fault. Now, once you have accepted that, the next step would be to not become a victim, to not become angry. Sometimes Sitting in a dark room, letting the darkness wrap itself around you, giving into the silence is a step in wrapping yourself around your vessel. Most of us don't recall where we came from. We just know mom and pop made love, and 10 months later, boom, here I am. That's what we perceive, but we really don't know who we are or where we came from. There's so much information being thrown left and right that you can believe whatever you want, really, but most of us do not know. So now our first chakra of survival is being threatened. What do we do? This may sound crazy to some people, but follow me here. Your survival instincts are being threatened. What do? I personally say move. I don't mean relocate your living space. I mean move your physical body. Go outside, have a power walk. If you can, jog. If you can, run. Go to the pool, swim, move your body. Because what you don't understand is your body is a machine. The machine has been running in one direction for 400 to 500 years. And you're trying to stop that movement into the wrong direction and redirect into the path that you want to go into. So the first step you have to do is move. You have to get your blood flowing. You have to get your body going. The moment you start moving your body, that light, that spark will ignite. And what that will do is shoot positive thoughts, positive energy, joy, happiness, bliss into the second chakra of creativity, emotional balance, sensuality, sexuality. And that will destroy, literally, it's like sending a bomb into the second chakra to blow up all those exploited pieces, getting rid of all those parts of you that sees itself as anything that it's not. And you continue to move. When you continue to move and you get to the second chakra, the most vital thing you can do in this chakra is drink water. Move, drink water. Run, walk, swim, dance, jump up and down, jump rope, skip. I don't know. I don't care. Move and drink water. When you're drinking the water and you're moving, you're flushing your system of all that pain and suffering. And you will cry. Like, don't think there will be many nights, days, moments sitting at work where you will cry. Like, there will be tears because you're shaking the machine up, and the machine will start to remember things that you don't even know about. Because remember, in our blood is our DNA, and in our DNA is our genetic memory, and in our genetic memory is every thought pattern, every memory, every experience that every ancestor has had before us. Move, drink water. When you get to your third chakra, that's when you begin to stretch. You can start stretching by practicing some beginner's yoga, Pilates, or just stretching. Throw a towel on the floor and stretch. And you're probably asking, what is that going to do for me? Like, move, water, stretch. What is she talking about? Remember, you're moving to get the machine going. You're drinking water to cleanse the machine. And you're stretching to get those muscles to reactivate. Once those muscles reactivate, you will start waking up your willpower, your self-power, your personal power, your will, your drive, your ability to look in the mirror and go, pardon my French, I'm literally the shit. I literally rock this shit. Your ability to look into the mirror and look at all that history in your face. Look at all that history in your eyes. And not look at it from a place of hurt or anger. That will give you the ability to go out into this world and participate in whatever activity that you want to participate in. You ever see that smart kid that's in the hood that's afraid to show that they're smart because, people in the hood are always making fun of smart people as if it's so cool to not be smart? You will destroy that bias, exploited, negative viewpoint. And you will go out into your community and become one of the best leaders they've ever had. That's what that will do. So we're moving, we're drinking water, and we're stretching. And we find ourselves in the space of the heart. The space of the heart, as you can recall, the most important part of the heart chakra is that inner child. That inner child that when you were growing up and you like to draw, and a family member probably said, "Who do you think you're going to be, Picasso?" And you felt like saying, "Yes, but my name won't be Picasso. My name will be Johnson," whatever your name is. That fourth chakra. When someone says something degrading, demeaning, passive, aggressive to you, you won't respond to them out of similar actions or feelings or moods, but you'll look at them and see, oh, you're where I was 3 chakras ago. I could help you. I could get you out of this. But you have to listen to me, and you probably won't like half the things I have to say. So I'm just going to go on with my life now, and you'll be able to move on. Your heart won't be broken. Your heart will be full. People will pass you by, cut their eyes, get mad at you. Who cares? I'm busy. I'm living this. I just found this life. Like, I just got this life back. I'm trying to give me some time. I need space. You'll be like that busy. I got to do me. You understand? Like, I'm living for the ancestors now. You ever heard people say that and you probably laughed? Like, what do you mean you're living for the ancestors? Literally. I'm living for the ancestors now. I'm not just living for myself. I'm not just living for my broken mom, my broken aunts, my broken sister, my broken self. I'm repairing myself, and I'm reconnecting to all those strong, powerful women who came before me, who survived things that I can't even imagine. And I'm living for them in a period that's considered luxurious, no matter what's going on around us. That's the fourth chakra. Once you have balanced your first through fourth chakra and you get to your fifth chakra, that is when you'll be able to communicate on a level that you did not even believe was possible. And this does not matter. I know a lot of people would probably hear this and go, well, I go to church and I pray and I believe in Jesus. Yeah, and Jesus believed in the 7 chakras too. Jesus believed in the centers of the life force. Jesus believed in the centers of energy. That's why Jesus spoke of love. Don't limit yourself based on your religious beliefs, your political beliefs, whatever beliefs you have. We're talking self. You will be an even greater and more powerful Christian if you're a balanced self. We're not degrading anyone. We're not negating anyone's beliefs. We're building self. If you can build yourself up and you can help others see the truth behind who they are and build themselves up, then you've done something way more powerful than you could ever have imagined. All those Wednesday nights at prayer group, you've already taken care of all that. Because you can literally help others because they can see a change in you that they want to mimic and become. That's the 5th chakra. You will be able to communicate everything that you love, everything you desire, everything that's working for you. You will be able to uplift people, boost their self-esteem. You'll be able to help others. And once you've balanced chakras 1 through 5, that's when you've connected or can begin to connect with your intuitive self. And you can start living like Lucy at 100%. And you can start seeing what I was talking about when I said you can see through the matrix. You can step outside of your house regardless of where you live. You can live in the suburbs, you can live in the hood, but you can step outside of that house and look out into your neighborhood and see the matrix for what it is. And when I say matrix, I do not mean the mechanical stories that's running through YouTube. I literally mean the matrix, the society, the story that's being told around us all day, every day, 24 hours a day. That's the matrix I'm talking about. I'm not talking about something you have no control over. Once you balance yourself, you will have full control over it, because everything that you do from that point on will be based on you. And we always limit the power of our choices and decisions. We always limit that until we have one of those coincidental experiences where you had two choices to make: go to the store or come home. You decided to come home. And when you came home, that package that you've been waiting 3 days on, and today was the third day that the post office is going to attempt to drop it off, there's the lady coming up the stairs right when you're coming up the stairs, and she didn't even have to make it all the way to your front door because you were right there and you signed for it, and boom, you got your package. Choices. Because if you would have went to the store, you would have missed your package. Choices. There's power in choices. And when you're connected with your intuitive self, your decision-making skills are way more powerful than you can ever imagine. Now, once you've balanced chakras 1 through 6, now you will connect to your divine. And like I said before, your divine could be Jesus Christ. Your divine could be the Buddha. Your divine could be Mother Teresa. Your divine could be a specific star in our galaxy. Your divine could be the universe herself. But you will connect. And that's when you will see the big picture. And hopefully by then, after all that hard work, you've actually connected back to your original self. And that fraternal sibling, that fraternal twin that was sticking around kind of dissolves into thin air because it's no longer relevant. You can walk through society and be yourself and not care if people think you're being this or that or whatever, because you've done the journey. And I'm going to end soon, but to make you understand, the chakras are broken down into 3 groups. Chakras 1 through 3 handles your lower selves, meaning your physical self, your emotional self, your mental self. Chakra 4 is that bridge that connects your lower selves to your higher selves. That's why it's the chakra of unconditional love. There is no connection without love. Then you go into your higher selves, which is chakra 5, 6, and 7. Your chakra of communication, self-expression, chakra 5. Chakra 6, your intuitive vision, your ability to see beyond the basic three-dimensional eye. Your ability to see beyond light. In other words, the sun. You will see past the sun. And into your 7th chakra, the connection with the divine. Now you can understand why the way that I spoke from the 1st to 3rd chakra versus when I got to the 5th and through 7th chakra, how the dialogue changed. When we're dealing with higher chakras, we're not dealing with the physical plane anymore. The physical plane has been balanced. And this is something that you, as an individual, should really take into importance and to take into consideration. When you start your chakra journey, when you start studying the spiritual self, the metaphysical self, do not jump around. It will seem mundane. And I will tell you this. The only time when you're studying the chakra system that it seems mundane is when you're taking in information instead of connecting it with you, the person. There is this book that I have that I will add at the end of the video that I really suggest. I didn't write it. It's not an ad. I just think this person who wrote this book is a very talented, amazing writer. And the book is called The Wheels of Life. It's called The Wheels of Life. And the book is a user's guide to the chakra system. And when I tell you it's not for the light of heart, if you're not a reader, do not buy the book. You're just going to waste your money. It's a very thick book. I have it right here. Hold on. I'll tell you. It's over 500 pages, in other words, to help you understand. It's not for the light of heart. But if you dive into this book and you connect with yourself, you will resolve a lifetime, probably even generational issues in about a 6-month to a year to 2-year period, because it does help you dive into who you are, cancel out everything that was not you, repair every mistake that you personally have ever made, and then rebuild. And that's that space that most of us need to be in, repairing and rebuilding. So I said I would do it under an hour. I'm there. I hope this helped. I hope it wasn't too dark or too deep. It's just something that I'm dealing with myself, which is why I decided to just record this. Regardless, I'm making this today, which is January 16th, 2020. Regardless if you hear this 10, 20, 30 years from now, do the work. It's important. Do the work. You might be a grandmother, a mother, or a daughter. If you do the work, every generation after you will be blessed. Every generation after you will live in divine spirit. I wish you all the best. Let us continue to work hard this year of 2020, this decade of reflection, reparations, and manifestations. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.